All right, here we go. This should be interesting because at the moment I'm rendering in After Effects while trying to do it to record a tutorial, so hopefully this won't go too badly. Hey, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you've got transparent selection turned on. This is in Microsoft Paint. I'm actually just going to go grab this here, and if I hold down Shift, actually no, hold down Control, sorry, I can literally grab a copy and extend this a little bit. Let's see, is that leaving? Yeah, it's not quite what I was hoping for. I'll undo that. I was hoping to extend that, but because of the color of the sky, it's actually, I know, actually, come on, let's think this through, Michael. Let's select that, hold down Control, which makes a copy, and then we'll flip it the other way. And you're not going to do that. Let's try that again. It's the worst tutorial I've ever done. We'll go Control C, Control V just to get a copy. And can I rotate it horizontally? Yeah, so technically, oh, look at that, eh? Nice. And then if I paste again and don't flip this time, I should have, there we go, nice. So I've just gone ahead and extended my blue sky. Impressive. Anyone think I was using Photoshop? Right, so now the whole point of being here is I want to do a pixel stretch, and this is quite a nice image to work with because you can see I've got a balloon here that I may not want to have in my stretch. So again, if I go to select, make sure that transparent is selected. You might hear some voices in the background. That'll be my boys doing a bit of gaming or something. Okay, so let's select some pixels, and I'll keep it fairly thin, like that. Right, so what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to hold down Shift, and then, as you can see, I'm now stretching those pixels. Now the cool thing about this is I can actually move this around, and depending on the speed that you travel, you see I actually went pretty quick there, so I'm going to go back and fix those ones up. Depending on the speed that you travel will depend on what those pixels do. So just go a little bit slower and tidy that up. There you go, there's my balloon stretch. Okay, so let me undo that and I'll just go again. So again, let's say I wanted to select just this. Hold down Shift. Oops, undo that. Not behaving, so I'm not flag that. Oh, thank you. The other thing you can do is you can actually freehand draw a selection. I don't know why I would freehand draw a selection like that, but let's just say I wanted to do that. And then you can see that the selection is actually based on the freehand drawing that I've done, which is, I actually quite like that. That looks kind of cool. And then if I come over here and I freehand draw maybe over here, again, so this balloon's getting pretty interesting, to be honest, isn't it? Maybe I'll take the basket over here. Oh, undo that. Let's try drawing it again. Hold down Shift. Whoa. And I can use that same technique to, grab swaths of color of paint and just use that to fill that out. So I'm literally painting with that. So this is all based on another technique. Okay, so let me just get rid of that for a moment. So we'll clear that up. So where I kind of picked this technique up was from this original idea. Well, not an original idea, but an idea that I took from somewhere else. So I've got a circle here. I'll grab my line tool and some stuff in here. So it's kind of when you can kind of take one idea and use it to generate another idea. Okay, so you go ahead and create yourself some sort of something that looks geometrically interesting. You might not think so, but you shall see. All right, so here's my circle. All right, now before I utilize that, let me just, actually no, that'll be fine. Let's just leave that where it is. Okay, so again, so I've actually made a selection. I've selected that whole thing. Hold down Shift, and here we go. So the quicker I move, the more I get these colors in, the slower I move. You can see where that's not quite working. Okay, so I'm literally painting using my selection. Okay, now I can use that to fill the entire screen. It's pretty cool. Okay, so basically what I did was let me go back and find that picture that I had. I went and found myself a picture like so. Copy that. It's from Pixabay. Just be a little bit careful. Pixabay isn't specifically for kids, but there are some great resources there. Are you going to let me paint? Yeah, okay, so sometimes with Pixabay, sorry, not with Paint, it's because of what I'm doing at the moment, it's causing problems. Freeform, oh, there we go. Okay, so again, so I make my selection. So unlike in Photoshop, I'm just going for whatever I like. And depending on the speed and as I hold down Shift, you can see if I get really fast, this happens. If I go a little bit slower, then that can happen. Okay, and you can take this anywhere you like. Okay, so you can see that, well, actually, you can tell that my microphone cut out, so I'm actually just narrating this bit. So I've taken a selection from the balloon and moved it onto the Hubmate canvas, and basically using that selection as a paintbrush, which is quite a little idea. You'll see people do that in speed painting with Microsoft Paint. One idea is to take the paint bucket and fill the background with black off to the side a bit, and then it's probably easier to paint on top of that. Sometimes if you try and use a paint bucket to fill out the background after you've done your like pixel stretch painting type stuff, you don't quite get the clean background. So it can be better to get that solid colour. Okay, I've got no idea what I was saying on the camera at the time, so hopefully that worked out and there wasn't too much noise in the background. Good luck.